By the end of today's video, you will know exactly what consistency feels like, and consistency is a feeling. The feeling of a winner continues to drive your consistent decisions. There is no charts. Charts are irrelevant when we think about consistency. You are consistent before you come to the charts. Stay tuned. My name is Luke Burton, co-founder of Not Just a Trade. I've been studying my own psychology since I've been very young. I've always been very aware of my own thoughts, but it wasn't until I started reading that I really understood the framework of how our minds work. Once I've understood this, I could start to manipulate my own belief system to work for me, and what I found is a repeatable process that I use daily to ensure my consistency in my own mind. Today I'm going to share with you what that consistency feels like. Let's get into the video. So like I said at the start of the video, consistency is a feeling, it's a state of mind that is calm, not in a rush, doesn't need any results, contented with the process of repeating what works and not doing what doesn't. It's a clear focus on the process and habits of a successful trader. Now, for me and my consistency, I know what it's like to feel non-consistent and I know what it's like to feel consistent. So I have a very clear definition of both, and I've written down my habits and the decisions that create more for me, as in more winning results and more consistent results, and I've written down what doesn't work for me, which is inconsistent results, and the habits that create inconsistent results. So everyone's is going to be different, everyone's going to be slightly different, but you need to be aware of both sides of yourself. The consistent side is that clear, focused, in the flow you, and the inconsistent side is when you're chasing the market or you're chasing winners, or nothing is coherent in your process and your understanding. You just come into the charts, so you don't really have an understanding of what you're looking for, or you do, but you're just trying to force it onto the market. So we have two different sides to ourselves. We have that side which is the in control, and we also have that emotional side of our brain that isn't in control. And we need to be aware of what both of them are and what both of their tendencies are, and everyone's is going to be different. It's the feeling that you're chasing, that's what creates the results. Although you can have a strategy and the strategy works and the strategy is consistent, that is very important as well. It's who you are when you come to the charts that's most important. And you need to be aware of that feeling that creates the consistency. So you need to be very, very aware of what doesn't create consistency and what does. And you'll know the feeling. The feeling is what you're chasing, that's what creates the results. And the feeling is you doing what you need to do when you need to do it, flawlessly executing your system day in, day out, and not having any expectation on the market. If you come to the markets on a daily basis and you force what you want, that is going to create inconsistency. It's going to create an imbalance within your own self, and that's going to feel inconsistent. It's not going to feel good. So when you come to the markets and you're focused, you're clear, you come to flawlessly execute, you're patient, you wait for your setups, and if the setup isn't there, you shut it down and you go do something else. That creates that feeling of consistency. It's the in control feeling. The inconsistency is very not in control. So there's a very clear definition of what consistency feels like and what it doesn't feel like. And the more that you can get into that phase of how it feels and being in control when you come to the charts, and having processes and habits that help you to be more in control of your actions and your decisions making in the process, that's what's going to create more consistency for you. So it's that feeling that you're always chasing. It's the feeling of being in control and focused. So how do you become aware of that feeling? Trading is an experience game, and a lot of people don't really understand this. They think that if I just come to trading, I'll learn this and it's job done. You learn concepts and you learn understandings and you learn processes from people that are already coherent with a consistent trader, and they do all the things that they need to do as a consistent trader, so they can always help to show where your focuses are. But you need to go through the experiences yourself to show yourself what it's like you to do and what it's not like you to do. You need to go through the experience to understand the habits that create winning trades and the habits that lose you money. And you need to write these things down. You need to journal these things, write them down, become very aware of what it's like you to do. Even when you make mistakes, you need to become aware of why and how you made those mistakes, because that's going to expose something to you that you need to understand about yourself. And then you need to write down a clear set of rules to enter the market, exit the market, and when and how you will stay out of the market when you don't get your setup. Once you have your rules, you can enter the market and see what works and what doesn't. Trade in the system flawlessly will show you what works and what doesn't. You need to track that, review it, then make a list of your successful habits And these will govern your in the moment decisions, which will lead to the consistency and help you to feel consistent and in control with your trading. You also need to make a list of what doesn't work, and these will stop you from entering the market when you know you shouldn't, because trading is not just about entering the market, it's also about knowing when to stay out and when to sit on your hands and be patient. That is just as important as executing your process. So you always have to have in your mind, you're flawlessly executing your process, your system, your trade plan. That is your pot of gold that you're sat on. As long as you can flawlessly execute that day after day, and you can stay out the market when you don't get setups and you don't get entry signals, you're going to gain your consistency, and you'll understand what that feeling of consistency is like. And then once you understand that feeling of consistency, then you can start to repeat that same process and do the same things day in, day out. It's important to understand that you're never going to master the markets, however good your strategy is. I don't care if you make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% a week. You're never going to master the markets. You can always improve in the markets. There is no end to improvement. It is constant improvement. There is no end. Like most people go to jobs and they see, their goal is to get to the end and be this person. In trading, it is constant. You need to constantly perform, you need to constantly improve, you need to constantly get better. There is no end result in trading. So if you're not yet consistent and you're on the way to being consistent, you should be doing as much as you can to improve all the time. And that feeling of improving and constantly, maybe getting battered by the market and coming back and trying to improve again, that's what trading is. So even when you are consistent, you're still going to improve. You're still going to be working on your psychology, and you're still going to be making sure that you perform perfectly on a daily basis. I think when I was learning to trade and when I was inconsistent trading, the mentors that I had at the moment made trading feel like consistency was an end result, and consistency is not an end result. Consistency is habits, behaviors, and decisions that you consistently make over and over again, day in, day out, to make you perform the best and at your best. And that is what creates the winning trades, and the winning trades is what creates your consistency. So it's a pair of the winning trades, knowing when to stay out the market, and making your drawdowns very, very small by staying out the market and not jumping back into trades when you've been taken out. So you come to the market with a plan. This is your trading rules. You come with a plan of how you'll manage yourself. That's your trading habits. You focus on flawless execution of your plan and your trading habits until you get to the stage where you don't have any conflicting thoughts. Your only thoughts will be what you need to do, and repeat that process over and over again. You'll be in harmony with your habits and your decisions. That is the feeling of consistency, and that is what makes you consistently profitable. You don't force results, you become the person who attracts the results with your habits and decisions. You have to understand exactly what it's like you to do, which means making repeatable mistakes, learning why and what leads to them, and how it feels to make those. So even if you're making mistakes in the market, you need to understand how it feels to make those mistakes. So if you overtraded, how does it make you feel? Now you need to understand that, so when you go back into that phase, you don't do it again. When you get that feeling in the moment of placing that extra trade that you know you shouldn't have or you shouldn't, that's when you need to click. That's where your process comes in, your habits comes in, so that you can stop yourself from doing that and you can go into autopilot and make better decisions. But it can't be a decision in the moment. It has to be something that's pre-planned ahead of time, a process and a habit that creates a decision. So as long as you have that pre-planned, which you can only learn through your experience and through traders that have been through that experience, then you have a plan of what you're going to do through any single market condition. It doesn't matter what the market does, you're going to have a plan for how you react to every situation in the market. And that's very important. I have processes for everything. And when I mean everything, I mean what it's like me to do to make more winning trades and hit more profits and see consistency. I have habits for that, and I know exactly what to do in every phase of the market. And I also have habits and decision making and processes for what I shouldn't do. So if I get taken out of a trade, for example, that's me done for the session. I only have one trade for the session. And that is because if I continue to sit there and trade, I'm going to try and make back what I just lost if I lost the trade. So for me, one of my processes that stops me from making those bad decisions and becoming inconsistent is if I get taken out of a trade, I lock my computer and I walk away. And that is a process that I do consistently. So I consistently put energy into that belief system and that process so that I am consistent, because trading is not one trade. Trading is a series of trades, the same way that the casino has a series of 200 hands before they're going to be consistently profitable with what they do. And trading is exactly the same. You need to understand the probability mindset, and trading is a game of probabilities. Do you overtrade? Do you chase the market when you get taken out? Do you compare your results to others? Do you force what you want to see? Do you always want to be in the market? Do you keep changing your system? I know about all of these. These are exactly what I used to do. The market exposed me to these, and now I have processes and habits that counteract me doing these things. I've been burnt time and time again by the markets for months and months, repeating the same mistakes until I finally wrote down what was working and what wasn't. I realized I need to bring the right mind to trading to get the results that I wanted, and that's where the change happened. If you feel like a winner, you're going to perform like a winner, because the market doesn't need to do anything for you to make you feel like a winner or satisfy you. If you feel like a loser, you're going to find any reason to get into the market to try and make you feel like a winner. All those urges you get and your emotional brain pushing you to act so it can finally feel like a winner. A winning trader comes to the charts as a winner and flawlessly executes their system. A losing trader comes to the charts to feel like a winner. Trading always has to be an addition to your life, otherwise every win and loss you take, you're going to take personally. The quicker you write down what works and what doesn't, and you formulate habits and processes to make sure that you can do exactly what you need to do when you need to do it, or you can stop yourself from being in the market when the market isn't stacked in your favor with confluences and probabilities stacked in your favor, the quicker you're going to get to whatever desire that you want in the market. It all starts with you. It all starts with you before you get to the charts and the mind that you bring to the charts. Thank you all for watching. Share in the comment section what you took away from this video. If you want to become an NJT trader, join through our website, notjustatrade.com. You can also find us on Instagram using the links in the description of this video. Don't forget to like the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.